Hey guys, so here's the answers for the first, I think we got to like 28 even questions. Remember, we did the odds together in class. So for number 2, when you're factoring this is again going to be a big X. So I need two numbers that multiply to give me 24, add to give me 11. That's going to be 8 and 3. So this is going to factor to X plus 8 times X plus 3. All right, number 4, you may want to rewrite this one. Remember, you want the squared term first. So this is really y squared, and then you want the y term next, so minus 8y, and then you want the constant last, so plus 15. So again, this is a big X. So I need two numbers that multiply to give me 15 and add to give me negative 8. So that would be negative 5 and negative 3. So this one will factor to X minus 5 times X minus 3. All right, number 6. Again, another big X question here. I need two numbers that multiply to give me negative 42 and add to give me negative 11, this middle number. Now, when first looking at this, I'm not really sure what it's going to be, but I know that 6 times 2 is 40. No, sorry, not 6 times 2. I know 6 times 7 is 42. But out of a 6 and a 7, I can't make an 11. So let's break this down. How about we make this a 3 and a 2? And then what we could do now is we can combine two of these together. So let's say we combine the 2 and the 7. So that would give us 3 times 14, because 2 times 7 is 14. Now, out of that, I could definitely get an 11, right? If I do 3 and negative 14, that's going to give me a negative 11. So this is then going to factor to, let me erase this so I have a place to write this on. That did not erase it. It's going to factor to X plus 3 times X minus 14. Okay, now number 8, I have 3 terms, but this time I have this leading coefficient in front, which means that this is going to be the big star. So I need two numbers that multiply to give me 2 times negative 5, which is negative 10, and add to give me this middle number, negative 3 on the bottom. So that's going to be negative 5 and 2. And then again, what do I divide by? This leading coefficient, which is a 2. Now I know that 2 over 2, that's going to equal 1, and negative 5 over 2 does not reduce, so I'm kind of stuck there. So this would factor to X minus 5 over 2, and then times X plus 1. But I don't want to leave it with fractions, so I'm going to go ahead and take this 2 and move it up. So that's going to be 2x minus 5 times x plus 1. Okay. All right, number 10, another big star. And again, how do you tell it's a big star? It's when you have a number in front of that x squared, okay? So when I multiply, 7 times 3 is 21, and I wanted to add to make that middle number negative 22. So look, I know 21 times 1 is 21, and I know 21 plus 1 will give me 22. But to make it a negative 22, let's make them both negative. Now dividing by my leading coefficient, this gives me a negative 3 on the left, and this does not reduce. It's still a negative 1 over 7. So this guy factors to x minus 3 times x minus 1/7. But again, you don't want to leave it as a fraction, so let's move the 7 up, giving me x minus 3 times 7x minus 1. All right, number 9. When you have two terms and a minus sign in the middle, this is going to be a difference of 2 squares. So check it out. So I need two numbers that if I multiply them together, I'm going to get 9x squared. So I know that's going to be 3x and 3x. Okay, then one's going to get a plus, one's going to get a minus. And I also need two numbers that if I multiply them together, I'm going to get a 25. Well, now I know that's going to be a 5 and a 5. So if we clean this up a little bit, this would be 3x plus 5 times 3x minus 5. All right, you guys, there's a question very similar to that on your final exam. All right, looking at these guys, solve for x, you should not need a calculator. So remember, this is the one where you want your bases to be equal. All right, so I'm always going to start with the bigger number. I want to rewrite 81 as 3 to some power. Well, I know 3 to the 4th is 81, so it's going to equal 3 to the x. Once my bases are equal, I can cancel them out, and you just get x equals 4. Okay, same thing with number 16. Start with the bigger number. I want to rewrite it as 2 to some power. So I know 2 to the 5th is 32. It's going to equal 2 to the, that's a 3x minus 1. Okay, and again, once your bases are the same, I can cancel them out. So I have 5 equals 3x minus 1. And to solve that equation, I can add 1 to both sides, giving me 6 equals 3x. And then I could divide by 3, giving me that x equals 2. All right, number 18. Again, I want to make the bases the same. Start with the bigger number here, this 27. I want to rewrite it as a 3. So you guys, I know that 27 is 3 to the 3rd. But look, I want the bases to both be in the numerator. This base is in the denominator, so the way to bring this up is to rewrite it as 3 to the 2x equals 3 to the negative 3rd. Now that my bases are the same, I can cross them out. And the equation I have left is 2x equals negative 3. If I divide both sides by 2, now look, not a pretty answer, right? It's negative 3 over 2. But that's okay. You're not always going to get pretty answers. It is what it is. All right? All right, number 20. Again, I'm going to take the bigger number, the 64. I want to rewrite it as a 4. So this is 4 to the x minus 2 equals 1 over 4 to the 3rd power is 64. But again, I want no denominators here. I want to move this back up. So this is going to be 4 to the x minus 2 equals 4 to the negative 3rd. Cross off your bases, and you're going to get x minus 2 equals negative 3. And then if you add 2 to both sides, negative 3 plus 2 is negative 1. So that one actually did come out kind of nice. All right. Now, number 21 through 24, exponential growth or decay. So remember, here you're going to be looking at this number, whatever's being raised to the x power. Remember, if it's bigger than 1, it's going to be a growth. If it's less than 1, it's going to be a decay. So because this 2 is bigger than 1, this one is going to be a growth. And hey, you guys, this is kind of one of those no-miss questions on your test, okay? It's really easy, okay? And then this one, 0.999. Okay, that's almost 1, but not quite. That is less than 1, so this one's going to be a decay. All right? Okay, 2 more. Write an exponential notation. I want to start with my base. So I'm going to go 5 to the 3rd equals 125. And you guys, it should make sense, right? 5 to the 3rd is 125, so that checks out. All right, write in logarithmic notation. If I want to write in logarithmic, that means I need to write a logarithm. Start with your base. So your base is 10. And then I'm going to leave a little space, and let's go ahead and write it. So it's 10 to a power. Well, it's being raised to the negative 1 power, and then it's going to equal 0.1. So let's clean this up a little bit. This would really be log base 10 of 0.1 equals negative 1. All right, and there you have it. Only took about 7 minutes. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Please make sure you're checking your answers, and we'll do some more tomorrow. Okay, see you guys tomorrow. Bye.